Welcome to part two, okay, guys? So right now we're going to focus on changing improper fractions to mixed numbers and mixed numbers back to improper fractions, all right? So let's stop right there. Let's go over a few vocabulary words. Remember, an improper fraction is a fraction in which the biggest number is on top. That is not the way a fraction should be written because remember, a fraction is just a part of something, and so the smaller number should be on top. When you have a bigger number on the top, that is called an improper fraction. All right. And a mixed number is a fraction with the whole number in front of it. All right. Just like 7.5 or 4 3/4. That's a mixed number because you have a whole number and a fraction attached to it. So our goal today is to change an improper fraction to a mixed number and a mixed number back to an improper fraction. And we're going to use this worksheet. And as always, you have access to this worksheet. You can follow along or you can have access to it later where you can try your own problems out. Of course, there's going to be an independent practice or a CFU to follow. So it says change 15 over 2 into a mixed number. That means change it into a fraction with a whole number. Remember, a fraction represents division of the numerator and the denominator. So in other words, this says 15 divided by 2. The numerator represents the dividend, and the denominator represents the divisor. So that means this is 15 divided by 2. 15 divided by 2. So when you go to write it and set it up as long division, remember you just flip it. So my 15 go under the hood, and my 2 goes outside the hood. And now our job is to solve the problem. So 2 goes into 15 7 times, 7 whole times, without going over. Because 2 times 7 is 14, and I am left with a remainder of 1. Okay? I'm left with the remainder of 1. Now, it told us to set up our division problem, which we already did. I'm sorry I kind of skipped that, but I showed you, you just flip it. Now it says your remainder becomes your new numerator. So what's my remainder? My remainder is 1. That becomes my new numerator. The denominator or divisor never changes. So that means my denominator stays 2. And my whole number that goes along with that is how many whole times it went in there, which is 7. So 15 divided by 2 as a fraction could also be written as 7 1/2, which is what we have right there. All right. So divide the numerator by the denominator. Your remainder becomes your new numerator. Your denominator doesn't change, and however many whole times it goes in there is your whole number. So now we're going to move down and do mixed number back into an improper fraction. So we're changing it from the whole number and the fraction back to the biggest number on top, smallest number on the bottom, which is we call an improper fraction. So it says change 4 1/2 into an improper fraction. Multiply the whole number by the denominator. So what is my whole number? My whole number is 4 in this problem. So that's 4. What is my denominator? 2. Right? 4 times 2, and then you add the numerator, which is 1. All right, now let me slow down for a little bit. I took my whole number and multiplied it by the denominator. So I did 4 times 2. And then you add the numerator, which is 1. So 4 times 2 is 8. 8 plus 1 is 9. All right. Now, that 9 becomes your whole number. And remember, your denominator never changes. So now I got 9 over 2. That's my answer. Whole number times denominator, add the numerator, leave the denominator the same. So that gives me 9 over 2, which is the same thing as 4 1/2.